Saturday morning. I'm making up some bagels. This is what we'll be doing next week. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of the things that you'll need. First off, you need some salt for this recipe. It has to be non-iodinized salt. So regular table salt, you have to watch, has iodine in it. Sea salt, or I use the kosher salt, does not have iodine in it. We need a little bit of a sweetener. You can use honey, but I really encourage everybody to go on Amazon and get this rice malt. We're going to use it for a lot of our other recipes. It's really important to add a tremendous amount of flavor, and it adds a sugar for yeast to really take off on. So this we're going to use for a lot of our recipes, and is really not expensive, and you can get it delivered easily. We're going to need a little bit of yeast, and I like the instant yeast, not regular yeast. It's just easier to work with. We're going to need 1 packet for this. If you want to just buy a packet, you can buy a packet. But if you buy a jar like this, you can keep it in your refrigerator and it'll last forever. We're going to need some flour, of course, and what we want is bread flour, not regular flour or light flour. We want bread flour, so make sure you get some bread flour. We're going to need some cooking spray, whatever your desired flavor is. If you want to make toasted sesame seed bagels, you're going to need some topping. So toasted sesame seed bagels, or I even found this everything bagel seasoning, which is really good, and you can get that at Harris Teeter. Need a slotted spoon. We're going to need some parchment paper, not mandatory, but if your pans are old, kind of like mine are, having some parchment paper really helps keep things from sticking. These bagels just a little bit overdone on the bottom, so I got to turn my oven down a little bit. Having a stand mixer is nice, but not mandatory, so we can definitely work without a mixer. But if you don't have a mixer, you'll be just stirring by hand and kneading a lot more, and that's kind of where we are. I do have a little, again, you can do this with a spoon. I have a little brush for putting butter on top. We'll talk about that during the thing, during our studies. You'll, of course, need a pan. So here's some regular bagels that are going to get boiled here in a second. You'll need some kind of plastic wrap if you don't have it, just to kind of cover the bagels and keep them from drying out when they're rising. Then lastly, you'll need a pot where you can boil the bagels in, and we'll talk about that. Oh, one other thing that you do need, and you probably have it someplace, you'll need a little bit of baking soda. So make sure you pick up a little bit of that if you don't have it in the house. Everything else we can work around, and there's substitutes for a lot of this stuff if you don't have it. So let's have fun. Oh, you also need some of that. All right, we'll see you Friday.